I'm sure you all know who Extinction Rebellion are. For those that don't know, in this video we're going to talk about who they are, what they actually want, who's behind them, and why they're wrong. Firstly, Extinction Rebellion are a group of spoiled, middle-class, smelly kids with a lot of powerful and rich financial backers who claim that they care about the environment. But in reality, that's not their main agenda. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's have a look at who's actually behind them. This is all the groups that are currently funding the campaign, and one name stands out: Open Society Foundation, the organization that's owned by George Soros. Surprise, surprise. Now, regardless of your view on climate change, obviously climate change exists, it changes all the time, and since the Industrial Revolution, humans have had an impact on it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with trying to live in a better and cleaner environment because it's just smarter, becoming more modern and advanced, and most of the technology that's been created is actually making things a lot easier than traditional coal or everything else that's been happening in the past. But these guys, they have a completely different agenda. They're using the environment as an excuse to introduce an actual system change. And they already say it. They want a system change. They want to bring down the Western civilization. They are, as we call them, watermelons. Green on the outside, red on the inside. Communist red. This is why they've always been the alarmists in this debate. For example, in 1989, the United Nations said that we have 11 years to save the world. On the 26th of January 2006, Al Gore said we have 10 years to save the planet. And yesterday, on the 7th of October 2019, Extinction Rebellion say we have 10 years to save the world. Now, if we go with their track record, then don't worry, the world is not going to end in 10 years' time. Now, in this video, we're not going to talk about Greta Thunberg much. As you know, she's a 17-year-old activist who's been used by her parents and everyone else in the campaign to further their own agenda. But this isn't the first time that these people have used kids for their own personal goal and agenda.
Eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
I am here to speak for all generations to come. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions.
How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight.
The other issue with the Extinction Rebellion is that they are completely repelling everyone else who actually cares about the environment, and they want to campaign to have cleaner air, cleaner water, and basically a better world for everyone else, especially in Africa and Asia, to live in, by creating a cult and a new religion. Brandon O'Neill said something really interesting. Brandon O'Neill says that these people have created a new religion. Buy less, fly less, fry less, said one placard. Catholics only demand the non-consumption of meat on Fridays because of Jesus. This new religion demands an end to meat consumption entirely, a penance for mankind's sins of growth and progress. He also says, Extinction Rebellion is a reactionary, regressive and elitist movement whose aim is to impose the most disturbing form of austerity imaginable on people across the world. And that's absolutely right, because one of the targets is to have net zero emissions by 2025. Literally, in 6 years' time, they want to have net zero. Now, and they want governments across the world to do that. Now, our government can't even deliver Crossrail or the disastrous HS2 on time, let alone sorting out this net zero emission targets. Good luck with that. Now, towards the end of this video, we're going to talk about the actual solutions to this problem. But for now, let's have a look at what they've been up to. This is the second day of their 2-week campaign across the world to shut down all the cities, all the major cities, and basically try to bring down the political systems. They are currently setting up camps across the world, especially in central London. And this is a map of the streets that they are targeting in central London near Parliament and the governmental buildings. And for the first time, the police are taking them seriously, and they are responding very robustly. As you can see on this map, on day 2, the police have already taken down 4 of their sites, and they are going to be targeting more of these. Now, my issue with these campaigners is that how can we take you seriously when you do things like this? And I'm not talking about their hairstyle. Now, a lot of credible politicians and governments across the world, including sensible, ordinary citizens across the world, have already rejected their aims and their agenda, the whole Extinction Rebellion stuff, because they know this is not the solution. Apart from one party, the Labour Party.
I want to pay tribute to the school strikers and Extinction Rebellion. And for my part, I will make sure the Treasury puts in whatever resources are necessary to meet our climate change obligations. Whatever is necessary.
Now, my issue is when the Labour Party has already embraced this movement, what is the point of the Green Party? Can't they just join Labour? They have the same agenda anyway. Some of these activists have picked a very interesting approach when it comes to campaigning, how they dress, what they get up to. A lot of them are doing yoga in the middle of Westminster on the streets. Actually, yesterday I went to Westminster and to kind of have a look at the movement, the march and everything else that's been happening. And at one point I was actually busy on my phone as usual, tweeting random stuff. And I look up and I see this. Yeah, I saw a group of red vampires or some sort that were coming towards me very quietly without saying anything. And that freaked me out. And also, as you know, these campaigners are against capitalism. Obviously, a lot of them are against meat. And they are generally against everything that we stand for in the Western civilization. But some of them were spotted in McDonald's, taking a break. Now, this has nothing to do with meat, because they could have just ordered some sort of veggie burger. But they are also against McDonald's, because McDonald's as a corporation essentially stands for the values of capitalism, which they want to bring down. So I'm loving the hypocrisy here. But that goes back to the main point of this video, because these people claim that the world is going to end in a few years' time, and the only way to fix it and save mankind, well, I think we have to say people's kind, otherwise, they won't be happy, is by bringing down the economic system, the social system, the whole political structure of the Western civilization. And basically, people have to suffer and struggle to live economically in order to live. Now, when there's no economic growth and when the government doesn't have any money, they still expect the government and politicians to come up with solutions. Now, politicians with money can't even come up with solutions. Politicians without money? Are you kidding me? Now, my advice to them is this. What do you think of all the things that's already been invented and created that you already support? Solar panels, wind, water technology, the electric cars, everything else that you're already supporting. How do you think they were created? Do you think that was done by government bureaucrats? No, it was individuals, innovators, scientists, businesses. Free market capitalism did this. And if you want to actually help the world, you need to empower the free market capitalist system. You need to let people like Elon Musk and everyone else, all the scientists across the world, whether they care or not about the environment, if they're coming up with these products and ideas, it's still helping the environment. And this is the problem these guys have with the capitalist system, because they say, well, not all businesses or innovators or scientists care about their environment. But if they're still making these products and these new systems, why do you care about their intentions, even if it's about profit? It's still helping the environment. So just back it instead of destroying it. But this is why, as we said, they don't care about the environment, especially the actual leaders of the movement. They are generally Marxists. They want to bring down the system to create their own utopia. And that's never going to happen. Ordinary people across the Western world are already rejecting you guys. And these are the people who already care about the environment. They recycle, they try to buy electric cars and get solar panels and everything else. Just compromise, calm down, get a job, and just take a shower. Now, we're going to be covering this topic over the next 2 weeks as these kids camp out in central London and other cities across the world. So make sure that you subscribe and click on the notification button next to it so you get notified when the video comes out. Obviously, we talk a lot about Brexit on this channel, and we're preparing for a Brexit victory party at the end of October and / just in case Brexit rally. But we are still aiming for the Brexit victory party, and there's going to be a lot of tickets that's going to be sold out. So if you have already bought a Brexit t-shirt from the merchandise site, which you can find the link in the description, make sure you send me an email with a selfie of yourself and a t-shirt or the mug that you've got from the merchandise site, and I will send you guys an exclusive invite to the parties. And if you haven't, you could find the link in the description, check out all the designs that we have. And as always, if you want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, you can find them down here. And as I said earlier, subscribe and click on the notification next to it. As always, I am Tousi, and this is the fastest growing conservative Brexit channel in the UK.